Hey, Spuddies! Potato McWhiskey here, and welcome back to my favorite Fantasy 4X game, Age of Wonders 4, with the latest DLC, Thrones of Blood, which, honestly, I highly recommend. Now, we are playing on Brutal difficulty, which does mean that the AI has significant bonuses to their combat strength, as well as a whole bunch of other things. So that's worth noting. We have here a lot of stuff. Can we reach them? Can we take them out? We could catch them. Now, this is Nikkareth themselves. We could catch and kill a pretty big army here, but it's not that strong, and it would be pretty valuable for us to get these kills. So I am really tempted to zip over here and try to take them out, considering I have most of my main armies here. Now my ruler is in range to do work, so I'll build a road over there so that we minimize the amount of movement that we use. Let's also bring in a hero stack. I think heroes are very powerful units. It's always worth it to bring them in. Sorry, this isn't my ruler. This is Millennia the Disciplined. This will be a hard fight, I suspect. I'll bring a bunch of tier 1 expendable units, and then we'll look for the fight. It looks like we're going to be fighting in a blood river. We are up against a lot of spirit damage, and fire damage, which is the counter to us. At least for some of my undead heroes, they are very, very vulnerable, relatively speaking, okay? Like, they've got 77% resistance to blight, but only 57% to fire, so yeah, fire and spirit. So yes, very vulnerable, but not like completely. Let's have a look at what the auto-resolve does for us. I do note that a lot of people have been asking me to fight battles manually. I think this particular battle, we have a lot of tier 1 units, so there's nothing really interesting to make use of here. This is just like a spam unit battle. So I'm just going to accept this outcome because laziness, because I'm trying to be efficient. But I am tempted by the idea. Oh, we got a necromancer there. I'm tempted by the idea of doing a no auto-resolve run where I have to fight every battle where there's a possibility of victory. So like if I have a scout that's like caught by like 3 stacks of dragons, I'll just like, whatever, I'm not saving that scout, you know? So we've got some blessed souls here. They do have the Keeper's Mark, which makes them, you have to remove their buffs in order to kill them after they take fatal damage. It's like slip away on crack. I could bring my units to bear on them, especially using road building, and I do like to use road building for mobility. I don't see a reason not to. This could be another easy auto-resolve. We've got a lot of tier 1 units, so we'll just auto-combat this as well. I lost a Doombat and a Butcher Ogre. We'll just leave that as is. Dismiss those units, because we don't need to recruit them. And we've got the Sharpened Two-Hander, which is a tier 4, actually. We will take that. Tier 4 items are very good. I would like to play around with a Painbringer. What's nice about the Painbringer is it actually is a racial unit. So you can see here it's got the Rock Enchantment and a couple of other ones. It has Draining Strikes, which allows it to gain hit points. Oh, it also has Flanking. And then Tormenting Lash is a range 3 flanking torment inflicting ability. Oh, damn. That's really good. Shadow Step allows you to teleport. So it's very much so a unit that likes to flank. Curious actually about my Pursuers. Do they have flanking? No, not really. At least I couldn't find it on their unit card. Let's see, so this is a flanker. It's a pack hunter. Ooh. And it has extra retaliation attacks. I like this Painbringer. I think I'd like to recruit one to try and use it. So let's recruit them. And I'm also going to recruit some Scalds. They're really, really good support units. Now, you've done your job up here in Hollow. Now, apparently I'm holding a hostage of Hollow. Let me have a look at what's in my hero crypt. I think I'll just grant him his freedom, and then I'll talk to Hollow, and we'll let them do their own thing. I have the army of Malak the Exact, who I can zip on down this way. Tyrannica the Beacon. I want to make sure she's not out on her own so she can't get isolated. Because my armies, I mean, I'm very much so focused on fighting with masses of units. It's sort of my style right now. In Blade Hollow, I do like the Blood Cultist because of the Scarlet Plague potential. I'll inject a little bit of cash into my capital to finish off its production queue faster. I think that's worth it. Choke Point got stone walls, which is fantastic. This is definitely a city that wants to be governed by an arcane governor. It's got 4 conduits. We could even get more. We do want to get ourselves an arcane institute and an academy up if we can, but not the Scholars Guild. Yeah, we don't want to build a Workers Guild. We definitely want to build a Mages Guild, but that would be very expensive. So let me cancel that for a second. You know what? Maybe it'd be good to get the Mages Guild out of the way because it is a lot of mana. We don't need the mana though. What do we actually need in here? It would be good to level up. We could boost this by having more population. It would take a very long time for the city to grow due to the lack of farms. Could we get farms? I could get one farm here. That would be a hut. Forester. Hut. Okay, I don't see a way for us to get a second farm. If I were to boost this, I could get a second farm over here, and now building the estate hall becomes a little bit more possible. And that'd be nice to try and get this up to 15 population if we could. In the meantime, we would like to get 2 foresters. We may as well build up the city's defensive capabilities. So I'll get a caltrop stash plus the arcane battlements, but not in that order. Just to slightly improve our defensive capabilities. So Nikkareth has been sent to the Astral Void, and we released Hollow as a vassal city, just to try and control this section of the map, basically. So I want to head down to Sunrise to blow that city up, and then we want to head to Flamewall. Let's start moving our armies in that direction, and we will be pillaging along the way. And thankfully, because we are... Oh, Saint Spire's down here too. Because we are Chaos, and we've taken the Chaos Affinity, we actually pillage faster than normal, which is fantastic. I think I'll Force March this, because we have really cheap Force March too, which gives us a lot of map mobility. I think I'm going to do some Force Marching in order to get some extra pillages off. I'll get you over here. You're a little bit wounded, so I'm going to keep you on the edge of enemy territory. Now my ruler is in charge of the Silent Tomb. How long until Grimerise levels up? 4 turns? I don't even know if it can reach this. God, I wish I could just take this province away from Ankaraz. Or like, why can't I give the Silent Tomb to someone? You know what I mean? I'm gonna have my ruler chill at the edge here so that they can heal a little bit faster. Man, Bone Dragon, one of the big problems with high health units like this Bone Dragon is just how slowly it heals. Now, we do have the option of doing a blood transfer ritual, but it is only a 20% heal, so it would heal him for 40 health. So this is why I like kind of like spamming units, because they recover health so much faster. I figure out how to make this thing heal faster. Might be worth, maybe I could craft an item or something that would help. So Blade Hollow built its tier 3 stronghold. It needs 2 more pops. It's going to take 9 turns to grow. If we did get the granary, that would double the growth rate in here. That would actually be really helpful to get to 15 pop. I think I'm going to grab myself stone walls to finish that as soon as possible, because we want to be well defended in here. And I do think that we wanted to get the Workers Guild, because this guy is an industrious governor, which gives quarries a lot of benefits. So we'll turn this into an industrious city, I think. I think that's the general plan. So I'll queue up the Workers Guild in there, and Yevovek can annex another province. I think we want this Shrieking Shrine, mainly for the Imperium income. I'm going to hurry out the storehouse and start building palisade walls. Okay, let's keep on moving in on Sunrise, and we're going to be pillaging our way across their territory, because it's good for our economy to do so. We don't want our units to be too spread out, though. We want to make sure that we have good coverage of each other's backs. So I'll Force March a unit down here. So basically covering their territory in units. Now I'm trying to think, what would be the synergies of the Painbringer? So honestly, things that give it defensive bonuses because it steals health with its draining strike would actually be really good, as well as things that maybe expose enemies to flanking damage. So let me see, what do I have? Do I have a unit that could help it tank? Well, the other thing actually to consider is, because it's a single model, no matter how much damage it takes, it will maintain its damage output. And so maybe one of the ways that we can actually make this unit more survivable is, there's actually really interesting synergy here, because it's going to become a life drinker, so it'll get strengthened, and this unit being strengthened actually means it deals more damage, meaning it'll gain more of the health. So in reality, we just need to get enough survivability on this unit for it to not get insta-gibbed. And maybe Gift of the Old Blood, and then that other one, the Mantle of the Blood Noble with Coagulate, right? Tier 4 units will get bonus defense and extra health and healing. So there's like a really good synergy there, which is really interesting. So what tier 2 unit would this synergize best with? Potentially the Necromancer, because of the strength in undead and the ability to raise them. The Hastened would be good, because I don't think this is a very fast unit, is it? It is a fast unit, but it would get an extra movement point in battle. I actually think Necromancers would be a fantastic support unit for the Painbringer, because the Necromancer would provide bonus damage and an extra retaliation attack and movement speed, while also being able to apply status effects with their attacks, give bonus defense mode warding, right? Warding defense modes for resistance and status resistance, as well as the ability to revive the Painbringer if it does die. Now, the hard thing is, how do we keep our Necromancers alive? Well, I suppose if we have enough Necromancers, the Necromancers can keep each other alive. So I actually think that, like, maybe something like a ratio of like 3 Painbringers to 3 Necromancers is a very powerful stack, especially when we get Mantle of the Blood Noble, because the Painbringers would get 15% extra health and 15% more healing, and I would be able to revive them. I think that might be a really powerful stack. I'm wondering, what if I went down to 2 Necromancers? Necromancers have so low health before they're leveled up. I think leveling them up nearly doubles their health, which means it would be a lot harder to revive, because you could easily get 2 Necromancers sniped, but it'd be a lot harder to snipe 3 Necromancers who are like overlapping the defense modes and providing each other resistance. So I actually think I'm going to try out a stack of 3 Painbringers and 3 Necromancers. So let me start recruiting some Necromancers. I think that might be a really solid combo. Now, we could also go with 2 Necromancers, a Scald, and 3 Painbringers as a stack. And the power of the Scald is that it would give strengthened and fortune, as well as morale and regeneration, while coming with a pretty powerful ability that inflicts insanity, while being a much tougher support unit. It has an extra 20 health, which kind of appeals to me. So maybe what we'll do is 1 Scald, 2 Necromancers, 3 Painbringers as a stack, and then we could replace probably one of the Painbringers with a hero. And if the hero has Revive Undead, either maybe we could forge a Revive Undead item. Is that a thing? I'm trying to like theory craft a stack here. We could get a Resurrection. Now, if I had a hero with either Revive Undead or Resurrection, I think we could probably take out one of the Necromancers and just have 1 Necromancer. Or we could take out a Painbringer. We have 2 Painbringers, a hero, and then 3 support units. I'm kind of intrigued by this pathway that we're developing here to develop like this the power stack. I think the synergy here is really strong. And if we can get tormenting projectiles, where physical and ranged magic attacks can inflict torment, especially our support units will inflict 2 stacks of it, that could be really powerful. Really, really, really powerful. So I think there's something here about this theory craft that we're putting together. I should really do a lot more theory crafting. I think that's one of my failures as a player, is not doing enough theory crafty stuff. Let's buff the armory, or quick buy the armory, because we just have so much gold. I want to pump some gold into my cities to get them finished a little bit quicker. We do have a hero join offer. I'm going to wait until next turn. We crafted the Tempest Staff of the Steppe. So this was for our... I can't remember who this was for. Was it for Tyrannica the Beacon? She already has a really strong tier 4 weapon. No, it was for Usufgrin the Mender, who's only using a tier 1 item right now. So let's give him the Tempest Staff of the Steppe. We will confirm this. So now he has a really strong Lightning Blast, and he inflicts Exploit Vulnerability and Blood Parasite. Excellent. Selected hero gains 100 renown. We can gain a skill point. Fine, I'll grab a skill point. Governance training. We just give it a little bit of renown out. So Malak the Exact is in theory, my animal leader. So I should really have like 5 animals under his army, under his command. Now, he's not particularly strong in of his own rights, but he does have a long-range Siphon Blood that can dominate an enemy, as well as extra health for his units and a pack leader ability. So if we can get some high-tier animals into his stack, that'd be good. I think it would be nice to go down this defensive tree and make him a very strong, like, generalist fighter So he would deal more damage, he would get defense and evasion, deal more damage, slip away, and then defense and evasion. Alternatively, if we don't care about slip away, we could go for faster cooldown, mist away, and then vampirific flight, which I actually I prefer that path. So we'll take him down the vampire path. Now we have a mystical seer here, and I don't think they do anything particularly important for us, especially because we're actually very close to being able to explore the world. In fact, we can do it right now. Spying shadows for 500 Imperium, we can just reveal the entire world map. Your throne city gains infinite sensing range, and armies in sensing range reveal their numbers and allegiance. So we just revealed the entire map, which is making my graphics card cry. But that is fantastic because now we have knowledge of who's moving where who's coming for us, and so on and so forth. Brilliant. All right, we're being attacked. Oh, this is going to be a lot of attacks. So Nikkareth, with 2 heroes and a lot of high tier units, with the Flame Herald's Consecration, is coming to fight us. Now, if I auto combat this, I expect a devastating loss. But I think I can do better. I don't think I can win this fight. But remember, a lot of those units are expendable for a reason. I don't think I can win this fight, but I can probably do a lot better using defeat and detail tactics. Okay, so let's have a look at where we might be able to, like, if we could kill a hero, that would be huge. This guy's 90 health. He's actually very low health. I don't see Keeper's Mark on him. He does have Resurgence, so he will come back to life if he wins the battle, which is unfortunate. Okay, never mind. Okay, so this guy has Resurgence. It's unfortunate because I was thinking of killing him over killing this guy to the right, because the guy on the left, I have a lot of expendable units on the right here that I could just throw at the enemy, which is not the same on the left. Let me have a look at you. Do you have Resurgence? As far as I can tell, this guy doesn't have Resurgence. So if we took him out, that would be him done. Which means I might actually look to try to kill him. Now, he also has very low defensive stats. We're also dealing with some subjugators who will cripple our morale, which is kind of painful, but that's fine. We've also got Pyre Templars. These are going to be very hard units for us to kill. But I think if we focus fire enough, we might be able to do it. Now, we've got some mana crystals on the battle as well, which will provide interesting things, because I think when they are destroyed, they deal damage. So if we can get enemies to gather around them, that would be really powerful. So I'm trying to think about what's our strategy here. We have 2 heroes. We have Isov Grin the Mender, who can summon a knight, as well as polymorph. So that's important. Does have defense mode warding. I'm thinking we could use 1 or 2 units on this side of the battlefield to jabate the enemy for a very long time. So I'm going to take half of these guys and move them forward to the left to try and pull these units to the right. And then I'm going to move these guys sort of sideways as much as possible to collapse on the right, while we try to pull as many forces as we can off to these random units, while we try to get a numerical superiority on the right. Now, one of the ways that we're going to do that is by not actually advancing very much. We do want to advance, but we want these sort of juicier units to be close. Because if we think about the aggro range of these guys, right? We want to aggro them over here. So I think these 4 units should be sufficient to pull enough of the enemy to the left. And then we're going to try and shift sort of sideways, but not too far forward. I'm thinking if I use 1 expendable spider right here, I might be able to get someone to rush forward and attack. I'm going to send these zombies out to the right. Now, I am not thinking about victory here. I think that's very important that we keep that in mind. I'm not thinking about victory. I am thinking about Pact of Eternal Servitude. I'm thinking about doing as much damage to the enemy. Now, Tyrannica the Beacon does have the Pact of Eternal Servitude. I think the Spider might be the right target for this. It's the strongest unit I have in my army. So I'll buff him up. Okay, perfect. So I created this kind of line of low aggro where, like, I'm trying to attract as many units over to the left as possible while we focus fire, trying to draw these units down. But these units, maybe they'll go, oh, maybe over here. Now, I suspect the right side, we might be able to pull off half the army here. We'll see what we can do. I'm not really entirely sure how the AI aggro works, but you can see they're definitely forming a line facing these units on the left rather than the ones on the right, which is exactly what we want. Now, they're the ones on the attack. Tears of the Crimson Sovereign here is a very powerful ability. 3 enemy units will sustain 10 damage and have a 90% chance of gaining Blood Parasite for the next 2 turns. I think that's a really good spell. We're going to go ahead and launch that. They did resist, but we are getting Fortune. Let me change up my favorite spell. So I'm going to go with Tears of the Crimson Sovereign, Agonize, and Baneful Curse is really useful for lowering the damage output of enemy armies. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to try to draw people in to shoot us at their disadvantage. I'm going to send this spider hatchling in to try and bait. But the basic idea here is that we're trying to get them to commit to a fight that they can't. We want them to have a Pyrrhic victory, basically. And we're trying to do that by manipulating the AI's tactical algorithms. They see, oh, look at this. These are like easy kills. And look, they've stacked it up. And they're like, we don't know what to do. And hopefully the fact, okay, that was a big morale, but they're buffing up. Yeah, see, now we're drawing them in. This is perfect. We're drawing them in on the left while holding the line on the right. So now they're thinking about it. Now we just fall back just enough to where they want to come in closer. Like we just want to be just out of their range to where they feel like, oh, if I just nudged forward just a couple of tiles, I think I could get these guys. See how we're just out of their range. So we're gonna draw these guys left. They're just gonna keep coming and being like, oh, okay, we're gonna catch them, and then that's when we collapse over here. Let's go give them a nibble with the spider. See, now we've put a couple of units in their range, so they're gonna start thinking about it. Now, do we want to hit them with an Agonize? I do think if we hit them with an Agonize, I think that will trigger them into coming to fight us. So I'm going to tighten up my lines so we can get better attacks. I think this is where they're going. This guy is going to be like enraged and come fight us, while these guys kind of faff around and do nothing. This is how we manipulate the AI. Yes, perfect. They have been triggered into fighting us. Yeah, look, they're coming forward. Okay, he brought a guy over from the left. That's fine. Spider's taking a bit of damage. That's okay. Now, the trick here on this left is we need to give them a juicy enough target to keep them distracted for a couple turns. And that requires us to counterattack a little so they waste all of their actions. Think of sacrificing these 3 units as like stunning this entire section of the enemy army. In terms of a Baneful Curse, I think getting these 3 units is big. We could almost kill this hero actually very soon. So let's think about that kill. I could run up with my spider and pop this mana crystal, which would deal a big old chunk of damage to them. And then I can summon a tier 3 undead right in their face. Now I could do the whale, but if I blunk forward to this tile and I did the whale here, I would hit a lot more enemies. Boom. Perfect. So that was a brilliant summon. We just about can't kill this guy. We definitely want to get into melee with you. So I'm going to get you up here. You are an awakener. So if we can get into melee with you, we prevent you from doing certain things. Perfect. Yeah, I want to get a kill on him. I wonder if I created a Rose Knight, would I be able to... How many charge... Okay, I can get a charge off here. Charge off here. You look like you've been stunned. I can get this charge off. This charge off. This charge off. Just focus fire this guy as much as humanly possible. And he's going to have a really bad time now. Perfect. Now, if you create a Rose Knight, I think I'm going to give this guy Death Ward first. I don't want to lose my Soulbound Spider. Okay, the Rose Knight can almost get this kill. Charge Strike plus Rose Knight. He is steadfast. Strengthen the undead. Come forward with you. So I would call that a pretty damn successful turn, considering we killed one of his units and weakened 2 more, triggered steadfast. I can't tell if this guy is kind of like completely unable to act or if he just has steadfast, because if he's able to get like a heal off or like retreat or something, that would be really difficult. He's triggering some regeneration and stuff. Yeah, look, see, they're wasting all of their actions on these little dudes over here. Meanwhile, I'm shrekking them on the right flank. Ouch. He did create a Will Breaker, a Splitterling. He killed my zombie with that too. Frost Breath. He did freeze them. Crowd control is very powerful. Not to be underestimated. Okay, I think we got some kills there. Now my Rose Knight can create a thorned skeleton and then kill this. Boom, that's a huge kill. Plus we get a decaying zombie out of it. I definitely want to kill this spirit. What are you? A Pyre Templar. Charge strike the Pyre Templars in the back. I think we can get him to die. Perfect. We get a blood parasite out of that. Eat that corpse for me. We want to avoid fighting too much on the left flank just yet, because we're still in it. We could do another Tears of the Crimson Sovereign because a lot of units died. I do think that that's worth it. Drops a blood parasite on various different enemies. Okay, you won't do that much damage if you attack. Let me see. What do we have in terms of abilities? We could polymorph him. If we polymorphed him, 50-50 shot. Okay, he resisted it, but we did remove his strengthened. He can basically kill anything that he's in range with. Well, go up and blap this nerd. Bam. Get me a Rose Knight, please. Shoot this guy in the back a bunch. Let me use this zombie to tank his retaliation. Let's do a double melee strike with my spider. He's down to nearly nothing. Come on, get me the kill. Yes! Thank you, Necromancer. Let's get this charge strike in. It's one of the best attacks we have available to us. All right, let's have a look at the strategic position right now. We've lost 4 units that have resurgence. However, we've killed a hell of a lot of units. In fact, we've evened up the battle and we have a massive amount of summons available to us. Now, some of these summons will expire soon, and we're going to lose a lot of expendable units, these immortals, soon. But I want to say that we're in a pretty good position to where we've turned a devastating defeat into a potential victory. It's not guaranteed just yet. Okay, we're getting hit. He's slapping us. Understandable. We're getting counterattacked. It hurts. It's fine. These are expendable units. Remember that. So we don't lose morale for losing these guys. That is the point of immortals, is you just throw them at the enemy and not give a damn. Yeah, this is a devastating counterattack. But I might be able to get another Banshee Whale off. It doesn't look like it. We could get this kill. I think that's worth it. Now, for some reason, the Blood Paras... Oh, there he is. You little bloaty boy. Okay. Can I get a good agonize off? If I could hit 4 units, that would be amazing. I could hit 3 right here, and these guys are vulnerable. Oh, yeah, we can get this kill. Do it. Bam. And we got the blood parasite. Eat the corpse. Become strengthened. Okay. Now, we could zip forward with this hero. Blast this guy. And potentially get this kill for another blood parasite. Come on. Yes. Nibble upon the souls of your enemies. We have a necromancer to revive our heroes should the worst happen. Break this guy's retaliation attack, which will allow the blood parasite to nibble upon him. Let's get him. He's bleeding like crazy now. We can get a really nice flank attack. It would be nice if we could charge strike this guy, because that would force him to move in order to use his ability. We have a decaying zombie we can send in as well as a distraction. Necromancer Death Blast here is going to do crazy work on this guy. He's dying slowly. I have a Rose Knight. Unfortunately, I can't get in anywhere. We could Blood Rose Drain to get that little bit of extra damage in. I could do another Blood Rose Drain. Oh, wait. First, raise a Thorned Skeleton for me. Come on, 50-50 shot. Oh. Okay, we'll use the Blood Rose Drain to get this kill. Perfect. Huge. Okay, at the end of our turn, things are looking bad for us based on the number of units that we've lost, but things are looking really bad for him based on the number of units he's lost. Like, this should have been a clean sweep for him, and he's lost a hero and a ton of high-value units, and we still have a lot of magic in the tank. So I think if we can keep drawing this battle out, we get an advantage. Okay, he's getting a kill. Big AoE attack here. That's fine. He dominated a unit. Shield of Light. Big AoE attacks. Kills our Necromancer. That's fine. Okay, we need to draw out the battle a little. We could get a kill here with Agonize. It would get us a blood parasite. Eat your corpse. 3 melee strikes to the back. Now let me see. Do you have steadfast, intimidation aura, graceful defense? Because if we can slurp up this guy's soul, that would be big. Move this thorn skeleton mage. I need just a little bit of damage before I can claim this soul. So close. Okay, let's try to take out this guy too with my little blood, my blood nerds. He's so low. Can you get around and charge strike this? Okay, claim that soul. Thank you. Beautiful. So now we get the exemplar. I'm going to pull you back to here. You'll take a poke. That's fine. We'll do an AoE rejuvenate. Nibble. Give him the nibbles. Boom. So now I need to start thinking about which units are summons. Like, I need to have at least one proper unit alive for me to not lose the battle. So I need to keep these 4 units alive, or all of these mean nothing. Because combat summons, I don't know what the thing you call it is, but basically, if they kill all my real units, my combat summons don't mean shit, right? Nice exploding unit, perfect. They're awakening. Awakening. Yeah, poke that spider, that's fine. Blow up my units. You fools! They're getting themselves killed. Okay, they're shooting me here. And he came forward. Excellent. He blew up my own unit, hurting him even more. The power of units that explode on death. Now, my enemy is a little bit spaced out to where I think the Tears of the Crimson Sovereign is the play here. I'll get a heal and some fortune while they get Blood Parasite on them. Question, can I get a kill to get another Blood Parasite? There's a lot of Cleansing Flame around. What I could do is I could give Death Ward to my spider, which would mean he can't die anyway. I step forward with you. Lightning Blast. Now he has Blood Parasite. Let's trigger his retaliation attacks on a unit that can't die this turn anyway. I would love to get my Exemplar in here. Now, he does have Emboldened Allies, which would give us Rally and Strengthened. Probably better to use that next turn. Let me get the melee strike in here. We could stab here for the kill. I think that's worth it. Even though it's not an efficient use of the hero. Nibble upon that corpse, become stronger. If you step 2 tiles to the left here, you could get 2 big attacks. Sanguine Bolts. So potential. Very nice. Could cancel his charge strike. Definitely want to get up on this battle mage because it forces them to either move and take an attack and not be able to use the champion purifying blast, or kill this and make it explode, damaging him. I would love to deal with this dominator unit. Also, I don't like that this guy's stuff is on cooldown either. So, oh, well, that just didn't work. Keep him distracted, please. Yeah, it looks like they have a big advantage, but we have a lot of summons and 2 full health heroes. Ouch. Now, the spider will live thanks to our ability. They're trying to kill this the blood maggot. We got the nibble off. He's going to try and blast it. He killed himself by doing that because of remorse. Perfect. Now you hurt yourself by exploding the blood maggot. We could do an agonize over here, which would basically force these 2 to die while we deal with this hero. We want to make sure he has no counterattack. The right thing might be to move my unit here to... I wish I could undo that. I didn't realize he had a cleave. Well, let's raise the vampire spider. What's the polymorph chance? Target can't be affected. Okay. 23 damage on the lightning blast. I'm really sad that I lost my vampire spider because I had done so well to keep them alive. Alright, blood parasite. He has steadfast, so he can't die now. If you zip forward and kill this guy, bam, we get a blood parasite and we get you back. And I think we've basically just secured victory. Eat a corpse and run. Beautiful. Victory has been secured. That's the power of defeat in detail. Split your opponents up so they don't get efficient attacks. Perfect. All of the end of turn damage triggers. We nailed them. We get all of our immortals back. All these expendables. We got 61 skulls, 159 gold, 300 knowledge, and 20 mana. Now they are going to attack again. Oh, they actually decided to retreat. That was a really interesting decision on their part. They actually retreated in fear, realizing that maybe they had miscalculated on the field of battle. Well, that's just perfect for me. It looks like somebody spawned a brigand camp over here. I'll grab myself some thorned skeletons, because the thorned skeletons are really powerful. The Spark Caller of Corruption is a tier 4 primary. That's excellent. We've also got some enchanted mail. Perfect, we'll take both of those. The Trader of Talents is departing. Not that we really care about that, that's fine. Now the Siege of Sunrise is going to be one hell of a fight. Let's have a look at our prison. I think we're going to devour these guys. It'd be kind of fun to get Stybor to max level. So let's start devouring them with Stybor. I think we just got Stybor to max. I don't think he can level up anymore. So that's really fun. Miscellaneous. Unyielding. So we have 3 skill points to spend. We have Resurgence. We could get the Mist Away. I like the idea of the Mist Away and the faster movement speed. Boom. Stybor is officially max rank. Why are there eyeballs floating? Huh? You see those? Huh? The hell? Okay, we definitely want to kill these guys outside. Okay, Undead Resentment would help our undead, but first we need to do Gift of the Old Blood on the Grim Wolves. So now they become undead, life drinkers with Blood Parasite. Perfect. Now our horses become undead. Nice. I also would love to do a blood transfer ritual, but I need to do the Mantle of Noble Blood, of the Blood Noble. So let's get that underway. We've got a lot of spells to cast. Choke Point recruited a Scald. What do Tyrant Knights do again? So they're shock units that cancel defense mode, trample. At the Despotic Vitality, at the end of this unit's turn, heal for 15 temporary hit points per adjacent enemy unit. Oh, that's actually pretty strong. Tyrant Knights are pretty badass. We could start recruiting those. Ooh, I definitely want to build the Estate Hall to grow this city to 15 faster so we can get the Black Palace. We'll grab that Estate Hall real quick. And we definitely do want some tier 2 units. Blood Cultists versus Necromancers. I mean, those Necromancers, I feel like they did a lot of work, especially with their raise undead stuff. But being able to raise my higher tier units, and also I feel like the Necromancer's damage came in really handy. So I'm going to recruit some Necromancers to support my higher tier units. So I feel like this army stack is starting to come together. We've got a Rose Knight, a Scald, and 2 Blood Cultists. I think another Rose Knight would really tie this stack together. I have so many low tier Immortals filling out my armies. I mean, those Immortals did work, to be clear. So I've reorganized my armies. Let's catch these 2. If the auto combat gives us no losses, I'll accept it. If we take any losses, I will fight it manually. Yeah, 0 losses plus a bunch of experience. Happy with that. We'll raise a couple of units as well. All right, some of my heroes leveled up. Tyrannica the Beacon has leveled up. She's actually reached max rank. So she could become a Paragon of Shadow, which would give all units in our army universal camouflage, slippery, meaning they don't trigger opportunity attacks, fleeting. Oh, damn. Okay, a Paragon of Shadow, universal camouflage. This could be incredible for a stack of shock units. Okay, for a number of reasons, right? Think about this, right? +2 damage on flanking attacks. So we're talking +6, +12 damage on flanking attacks for units in Tyrannica the Beacon's army, plus Unholy Leader for an extra 10% damage, 15 hit points, and resistance, plus ignoring opportunity attacks in zone of control, meaning they can constantly get flanking attacks. That is crazy. And they become an eternal one, meaning they can literally never die. That's crazy, dude. I do like the idea of their attacks doing +1 blight damage per negative status effect on the enemy. Do we want to do frost damage? Not really. Draining burst is like, you have to get really close to use that. It's not really something I want. Adjacent enemies losing morale faster. I mean, Graceful Servants is nice. It's a useful defensive ability, so we will pick that up because we do tend to lose a lot of units. Isafgrin the Mender has also leveled up. Now, I never went for any of their vampire stuff. We are going to want to go for the vampire stuff in the not too distant future. We may also want to reset their skills and think about how we want to use their abilities, but we'll probably wait until they're like level 9. I'm going to go for the Rite of the Vigil, that big AoE buff for everyone. Millennia the Disciplined has leveled. I think Rallying Cry is a great ability for a defender, so let's pick that up. We do want to recruit a new hero. I like it to be of my faction. I don't have an Elementalist, but I would think I would prefer to get another Death Knight. These Death Knights are crazy good. He's a Trollkin Governor, which isn't like the craziest, most powerful ability. But we could do some really interesting stuff with a Death Knight. So let's embrace him. Now, let's reset their skills. Well, yeah, let's reset their skills. So thinking about a Death Knight, what makes a Death Knight powerful? I definitely feel like Raise Undead and like having lots of summons makes them very powerful. Initiative nature isn't terrible here. I do really like the plus 10 hit points. Pack Leader isn't bad either. 10% crit chance. Attacks ignore things. Initiative order. Soul Draining Strikes isn't terrible. We don't necessarily need it. I do like Initiative Nature because that plus 10 hit points is useful, but the extra damage on flanking attacks has some crazy good synergy with some of the things that we can do. And then also Adept of Shadow. I mean, that just feels like a good move because of the Unholy Leader allowing us to, lead undead. Like, that's just a freebie, making him into an actual good general. I do like Raise Undead. I like Soulkeeper. We could maybe make it a Bone Wyvern. Is that worth a point? Maybe not. Aura of Disease is good. Plus Dark Ritual is crazy work. The ability to turn a whole bunch of corpses into decaying zombies is like very powerful. A Curse target unit, Sunder defense. I don't know if Curse is that good. Like, do we actually want to use this guy in melee? He's a Death Knight, so he could use a shield and one-handed weapon if we wanted to make him into a sort of tanky protector using other abilities. Resurgence is really useful, so we could go down the left side here. Let me see. Sundering defense, reckless rage, execute. I mean, execute's really useful. Ooh, Berserker Rage is actually super good too. Like, we could go down the left middle side here. We could go for Frenzy for strengthened, plus Sundering Strikes to lower enemy defense as opposed to crit. Although we could go for crit, but Sundering and Demolisher could be really useful in their own right. Then we could grab Execute to be able to just freely insta-give a unit if they're in melee with them. And Berserker Rage plus Resurgence will make this unit like very hard for us to actually lose. So I kind of like this path here. He's gonna need some equipment. We can start crafting equipment for him now. I wish I could queue up a bunch of items here. I think the item forge definitely requires like some, I don't know what the word is. Oh man, look how much we get out of our crypt. That's crazy. It definitely requires like some quality of life. Okay, we're getting pillaged by Kurtha, which I think is one of the, yeah, it's one of the free cities. I wish clicking on this would take you to it. One of the Umbral guys. We'll deal with them later. We're in the process of building up strong armies, so just give me a little bit of time. Dievovec. I do think these immortals are very strong. So we'll get the Dievovec to just produce immortals. We'll just queue up a bunch. Why not? Okay, looks like they're trying to do another counterattack. This time they are attacking this stack, which we could just sack that stack, which would force him to fight a stronger army after this. So I'm just going to sack it so that we can choose a better battle later. It's like, oh no, you killed a bunch of my tier 1 units. They cost 60 gold to make. They were wounded from a previous battle where I spanked you. Okay, let's cast Mantle of the Noble Blood. So now all my high tier units are going to get some nice benefits. Love it. And now we want to cast Undead Resentment to make our undead units more resistant to Spirit and Fire. I think that's the next spell that we want. We want to make our units more survivable because the more survivable your units are, the more damage they can output before they die. Then probably after that, it's going to be either Cruel Weaponry or Tormenting Projectiles. Might be Tormenting Projectiles first, we'll see. So I'd like to put the city under siege, but I'd also like to catch this army off guard if we could. So we're dealing with some high tier angelic units, some mid-tier angelic units plus a hero. Killing heroes is big for us because we take away power from our enemies and we can also drain them. Let me quickly queue up the Padded Cloak. So which armies are we going to use to wipe these guys out? That's an important question here. My ruler is very strong. I'll bring 3 heroes into this fight, all with a bunch of immortals. Now, auto combat, let's see what happens. Complete total victory. Yes, my units are wounded, but who cares? They're immortals. I could probably get a better result than that, but it's basically just tier 1 unit spam. We get a bunch of resources. It's nice. Make sure we recruit these thorned skeletons because they're good. We got our hardy cloak, which is a tier 4. Awesome. And now let's put Sunrise under siege. We would like to do this in 2 turns. So let's see. Revels of Blood. Ooh, can I... I'm going to unlock an extra siege project here because it would be nice to be able to... Well, we definitely want to do a headlong assault. That'll bring it down to 2 turns. Revels of Blood is nice. Harass the defenders and Revels of Blood would be good if we had a way to kill the enemy onagers. But the catapult towers are a problem. So let's construct some onagers and then do Revels of Blood. Now, Hufflepuff the Charger is my Death Knight. I think I might put him in charge of the Tormentor stack. So 2 Tormentors, a Scald, plus 2 Necromancers, I think was the platonic ideal of this stack that we decided upon. Let's recruit ourselves another Rose Knight because there's some potential there. Don't remember where I have a Necromancer. There's another Scald down here. No. This is the Necromancer. Perfect. So this stack is now complete. 2 Painbringers, who are good at flanking, plus 3 support units and a Death Knight to hold the front. Let's give him his Resistant Crown. I want to start building up his tankiness. We will need to give him a better 2-handed weapon. I'll give him a sharpened 2-hander for now. In terms of arcane research, Unholy Champion is cool. Chamber of the Right. Oh, yeah. We definitely want Chamber of the Right. Undead units drafted in the city will gain natural regeneration. Is crazy good. Unholy Champion gives target-friendly units plus 50% damage and Undying and Armor of Despair. Each morale level an attacker has below neutral. This unit gains plus what? Yeah, that would be really good if we could get Unholy Champion. But we want Chamber of the Right. So I will lock this in and then go for Chamber of the Right. Diego Vec can annex another province. Can't quite reach the Shrieking Shrine. Well, that's okay. I can't remember if I have Archon Blood already. No, I don't have Archon Blood, and if I grab it, we would get a significant bonus. So let's grab this Archon Blood. Boom. Now we have the Cosmoflux Elixir, which is fantastic. Let's hurry the walls. And it would be nice to be tier 2 so we can start building defenses in here. Okay, I want to say that was a pretty successful turn. We're definitely... Oh, I forgot to be recruiting in a couple of cities. That's okay. So yeah, he did... This is what I was worried about, that he would get like a bunch of units in this city. In the sort of like... And this is what you're playing up against when you're playing against a brutal AI. They fill their cities with units when you put them to siege. So that's kind of why I'm playing like very... slow, methodically, only taking battles where I have like guaranteed victory. Build a path out here with my army of Stybort. This is a very strong stack. I'm very excited to see this thing in action. Now the only thing is, this Scald, while really good, you could maybe make the argument that this could be another Necromancer or some other kind of utility unit. I think the Scald is fine. Okay, so Rose Knight plus a Scald. I think it'll be like 3 Rose Knights and a Scald. Like, that combo feels very difficult to deal with. And then maybe a Necromancer. So yeah, we need another 2 Rose Knights. 3 Rose Knights, a Scald, and a Necromancer. And then we have room for 1 more unit. You could probably make the argument for a second Necro. So let's recruit the Necromancer just to be able to keep everything alive. And I would like to build a Tyrant Knight stack. Ooh, they have the Rose Horse. That's very cool. Yeah, a Tyrant Knight would be nice. There's a lot of synergy between Immortals and Necromancers, but I kind of want stronger units in my armies. We no longer need Blood Cultists to do the Scarlet Plague. That's the kind of really interesting thing. So the Blood Cultist has kind of fallen off in terms of its usefulness. Okay, 1 more turn until the city's walls crumble. I've got a bunch of units back here that are wounded. Grimerise can annex another province. I would love to annex the Silent Tomb. We'll hold off on annexing anything until we have the Vampire Castle Halls. Let's rush the Beacons of Valor so we can get the Vampire Castle Halls. Ooh, Shadow Bolster in Matrix. Shadow buff and healing spells will grant evasion. What kind of spells am I using in battle? So Gift of the Old Blood is a Shadow Chaos. So we could either go with Shadow for evasion. That's really nice. Or Chaos for strengthened. Oh, that's also really nice. Both of those are really nice. I think we might go with the Shadow thing. We use a lot of shock units so that we can avoid taking range damage. Okay, choke point. In terms of recruitment, let's get a Necromancer up. I think Necromancers are just like my go-to support unit now that they provide so many cool benefits. I would love to get Reign of Destruction. I would love to get Exalted by Shadows. So we just need to save up Imperium. Reign of Destruction would make raising cities take 2 less turns and give us gold for population in the city that we raise, while Exalted by Shadows would give us a bunch of experience, which would be a lot of fun. Okay, so there's the padded cloak. Let's craft another item. This is for the new hero that we recruited. We need to get him some basic tier 2 equipment, just so he's not completely vulnerable. Just gives him that little bit of strength and resistance to make him harder to one-shot, basically. And I know my stuff is being pillaged here. I'm kind of busy trying to make sure that I get enough military power over here, because if this attack loses momentum, it's a huge cost. A huge cost to lose momentum on an attack like this. Okay, really nicely, they left a Lightbringer outside of the city so we could just easily auto-combat this and wipe it out. Now, I think what I'll do is I'll change. I want to have a bunch of full health guys here on the attack. So we're up against Nikkareth plus Ponder Sharden. He looked like a dragon for a second there, but he's like a dragon naga. We've got 4 heroes in here, so this is going to be big value if we can take it out. In terms of my new hero, this guy, what kind of weaponry do I want him to have? So Death Knights can have great weapons, one-handed shields, fists, polearms, skirmishers. Maybe a skirmisher weapon would be really good. Let me have a think about that. So he'll be like a melee mage vampire with an unholy leader. I'm trying to have a think. You know, really, I should, in theory, I should be crafting like a head item with extra fire resistance. So probably resistance is more important for us. But the good news is we do have tier 3 resistance now. So we could start looking into crafting very, very strong defense items. Now they're quite expensive to make, but this would be a 30% increase in terms of the resistance to magic. This is probably going to be a really easy auto combat, but I'm tempted to fight this myself, even though I'm not very good at siege battles. Oh, wow. Okay, so we lost. So this is definitely a battle I'm going to fight myself manually. Okay. So we have the Flame Herald's Consecration. We have it's sunless. Oh, he's already done a ton of damage to us somehow. Hex Pact. All right. So I'm not sure how he did this. Let me have a look at the combat history here. I'm not sure what that ability was that he did. Arc Fire on the ground. So who did this? Was that a you thing? Arc Fire Typhoon. Okay, that's what this was. In target 2 hex radius, enemy units sustain damage. A lot of damage. Okay, I think we want to push up on the left side here. Now let me have a look at this. Can only be used once per battle. That's good. Blast Evocation, Fire Rebuke, Ritual of Elements, refreshes all cooldowns. I'll create a Rose Knight to charge straight at the enemy. But we have a bit of a problem getting up these walls here. We have a big problem here in that we need to get out of this fire. Okay, exhausted. Ooh, that's not good. Forgot some of my units were exhausted. Oh, I thought my Rose Knight would make it up. Well, we can do a Blood Rose Drain at least. This was the wrong army to engage with. Healing is an important part of my abilities. And the fact that I don't have healing is a problem. Ooh, okay, yeah, I actually don't know about this battle. I don't think this one's going to go very well for me. Jesus! He did it again! Okay, that's crazy. I'll do a Tears of the Crimson Sovereign, but man, I need you to get this kill. Come on. Bam. Okay, we killed a hero at least. That helps. I'm going to exhume the dead beside this guy. I'll use my zombie to tank. Well, I need to break some walls. So we'll attack here to damage the walls. I'll use my Onergy here to break these walls too, which will open up our ability to get in. Let's do Grave March here. That's going to help us. I'll keep my dragon back. Well, these guys got like marked and distracted and stunned and everything bad. Okay. What if we teleport over here with you and do a whale? You attack this guy to trigger his retaliations because you're an expendable zombie. Nibble upon his soul. God, he just doesn't even care. Okay, I'm going to move my Rose Knight up here. Raise an undead. Then send him up here. And do the big AoE slurp. We got a Thorned Skeleton Archer, which is nice. That should get us a kill here, unless he has like slip away on it. Nope, that's that. And we get a Blood Parasite out of that. That's big. Charge Strike on this guy. Can you summon a skeleton here? Beautiful. I also need you to damage him. Bam. That's so much damage. Okay. Okay. Come forward 2 tiles. Poke this lad. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. It's not as bad as it was mere moments ago. Time stop. Jesus Christ. We definitely want to take out this catapult if we can, just because of its overwatchability of like just like nailing the battlefield. So things are going really bad for us, but how many units he kills next turn is really going to dictate A, whether or not we can win this battle. Like what sort of crazy bullshit can he pull out of the bag is going to, oh my god. Oh my god. 2 units down. That's going to dictate whether or not we're actually, whether or not we're going to win. Is going to be what he does. Jesus. Okay. Oh my god, dude. Dude, the AI is crazy. He blew up his own catapult at least. Oh, look at I feel like my entire front line is collapsed. Bro, at least we're going to get another Tears of the Crimson Sovereign off. That'll be nice. We need to agonize. I think the place to agonize is right here because that's 2 kills. Plus a torment on a hero. Okay, the time stop here was devastating. Send my dragon over here on the left to see if they can help. I'm going to raise the Bone Wyvern from the dead. I would love to get that kill right there. We could run forward in Dark Sacrament. Let's scoot forward with this guy. We'll hit them with the Dark Sacrament on 2, plus the Investiture and Chaos on this guy. And that'll be his turn dealt with. Okay, what do we want to do on this right side? So what do you got in the tank? Pact of Eternal Servitude. I mean, we can get some of these guys up here. Get a lot of damage on this hero at least. That's what we're talking about. This hero is messed up now. He's really low. My claim soul isn't long enough. Let's say we moved to here and we raised the Rose Knight from the dead. And then the Rose Knight can raise a Thorned Skeleton. And then if I get the skeleton to here... Oh, he's so close. He's so close, dude. I need you to do zombies to pin this guy down while we work on getting through this. This is tough. These are not easy battles, man. So I've got a few units over here in the center that I can make use of. I can't really kill this. I could get a lot of damage on him. I haven't even begun to tickle down the enemy leader. I could get some damage here, but it's a single target. I feel like the best use of my attacks here are on this guy because we could get a blood parasite out of him if we can get the kill. If you come up here, you'll get 2 flank attacks plus better pack hunter damage. Come on. I just need a nibble. Give me the nibble. Yes, another blood parasite. Okay, where are we looking? I think that's about all we can pull off this turn. Next turn, we'll do another Tears of the Crimson Sovereign to blood parasite a bunch of people. I wish there was like an easy way. I can't tell who has blood parasite and who doesn't because there's so many different buffs. But I want to say, like, I feel like every turn that my enemy takes, I'm like, it's so over. And then every time I take a turn, I'm like, we're back. Nikkareth is moving. He's moving over here to the left. Ooh, 34 damage. I might need to Necromancer revive that hero. Oh, I definitely need to Necromancer revive that hero. He just got hit with like a sunburst. Oh, the AoE, the catapults, man. Those catapults are so devastating. The catapult towers. Really need like a good way to deal with those. Jesus. A 60 damage catapult shot. Another damage. Right, at the very least, that's the end of the enemy's turn. We have lost a bunch of units. We can revive one. Shoot, I already used my Raise Undead. This lady has a Raise Undead. This guy has a Raise Undead as well. Okay, let's think about our moves here. You're on your own on this flank. I think you're going to retreat to the left here. Unless you could do a claim solo. Not quite. It won't let me cancel that attack. Oh, because I took damage. Tears of the Crimson. Okay, we killed that guy. If you nibble him, what if the nibble is enough for the claim soul? Yes! Oh no, I fumbled! Oh no! It's like every single turn is like, we're back, it's over, we're back, it's over, we're back, it's over. I really need to raise my hero back up, and so I will. It's so Jover, dude. At least we'll break some walls over here to make it easier for our units to get around. I really want to kill this guy. Got him. Nailed him. Blood Parasite, get up there and nibble upon him. Charge Strike on you would be a very annoying attack for us to execute. We got another Blood Parasite. There's no point eating those corpses. Go nibble. Poke him. Eek him, poke him. Alright, we're working on the enemy hero. He's coming down. Pursuer. Yes, good kill. Somehow we got a blood parasite out of a catapult. Don't ask about it. Don't ask questions you don't want the answers to. That's all I'll say. It's no longer over. We're back. We're back. We're so back. A big explosion. Aura of Tyranny. That's how they describe me on Twitter. Dude, he is doing so much damage. Bro, the AI, this damage that the AI does is wild. Okay, let's Dark Ritual right here. Get all our zombies. My zombies. Oh god, you can't get that kill, can you? What do you do? 3 attacks. Kill the enemy ruler. That would be big. Let's start blasting him. He's like hiding in the city. Little jerk. Charge strike him with the Rose Knight. Get him! Bam! Poke this nerd. Tank the retaliation for me. Yes, thank you. Come on, get him! Yeah! Come on, I need you to get this kill. Hold on, hold on. Agonize. Yes. Yes!
Oh, Christ!
50 skulls, 100 gold, 600 knowledge, and 20 mana. That was a battle, dude. Let's grab some thorn skeletons. All right, Crown of Accuracy, Spirit Orb, and Staff of Blight. This all looks like trash. I'm just going to disenchant it. That was one hell of a battle. But we're now in Sunrise, and we can begin raising it. Should I wait? I would have to wait like 4 turns to get Rain of Destruction. I think I'm just going to raise this now. Victory is ours. We did it, Reddit. I could get some... Could be some combat experience here for this guy. Speaking of this guy, we do need to check if we made his Hardy Greaves. Yes, we did. Confirm. Awesome. So he's got his basic equipment. We would like to make him a custom two-hander. He is a Grim Wolf, so we actually don't need to put Blood Parasite on our weapons anymore. Unless you can inflict 2 stacks of Blood Parasite. Let me check. Is that a thing? Who did I make a Blood Parasite weapon for? Was it you? Do they stack, I wonder? I don't think they do. Oh well. Chamber of the Right. Yes. Let's build this in Grime Rise immediately. Put it at the front of the queue. We can't afford to rush it. That's fine. Oh, sick. We can now cast Undead Resentment. This is going to cost us a lot of mana and a lot of skulls. We can fix our skull income problem because we have saved up a lot, and for good reason. So this new hero, I think we had kind of said that maybe Skirmisher equipment is good for him, unless we want it to be really tanky. Dark Ritual is a once per battle. Raise Undead is... Like, if we want him to just constantly come back and be annoying... We could make him a defender class, like give him a sword and a shield, because the shield will make him tankier. It will make him do less damage, but the advantage of having a shield is it's basically like you get to have an extra defense item, and defense items are kind of powerful in that they stack like together to become even better. Like, the crazy thing about defense is, the more defense you have, the better that hit points are, and the more hit points you have, the better defense is. So they have this like incredible synergy, and having a shield lets you go crazy on defense. Especially if you add stuff like Warded, which makes you have extra resistance against magic attacks. Like, that's super powerful. That's just straight up all magic does. Like, you have 30% more health against magic attacks. And then if you just add basic extra defense, this is another... you go from making a hero that has 33% more base health to 150, like they're 50% more base health. So it's quite a bit stronger. Plus, against magic damage, it's like... What? 1.7 times 1.2, which is close to double health against magic attacks. Like, that is the power of a shield like this shielding Aegis here. So you could make very, very tanky units, and the tankier they are, the harder they are to kill, the more they stick around, the more raise undeads they get. This does take an action though. That's a problem. Whereas, like, if he's raising undead, he's not doing other useful things. So maybe the right thing to do is to make his actual turns, like where he's attacking and doing stuff, like really powerful. And I feel like there's something really nice about skirmisher weapons in that they're both ranged and melee, depending on the type that you go for. Ones that I like, the hell are these? Dagger Flurry? What is this weapon I picked up? Oh, it was a heavy ranged weapon. No. I wanted a skirmisher weapon like this because it has the advantage of being melee, but also having a ranged attack. It's a short range ranged attack, but that's not so bad. And if we tier this up, like, we could add Inflict Blood Parasite plus, I don't know, like Retaliator, doesn't matter. But now he's doing like up to 60 damage, you know, like, and this becomes nice. The ability to reach out and touch your enemies with damage is really useful. But this comes with a significant downside, is that if you have the ability to always do damage, you're not using your own defense mode, and there is a lot of value to your defense mode, particularly if you have a shield. Like, shields have that innate defense mode, shield wall, which gives you +2/+2, and then gives adjacent units +3. Like, it really helps against physical damage. So there's something to consider there. Inflicting Torment. Now that's crazy. You don't need Blood Parasite. So what kind of Death Knight do I want this guy to be? So he's going alongside some Painbringers. So being able to lower enemy resistance might be really strong, because a lot of these guys do. Well, there's also like, it's a very mixed army in terms of its damage channels, right? Like, you've got some Blight and Frost with a little bit of physical. You've got some Fire and physical. You've got some physical and frost, and then this guy. So what do I want him to do? It's really hard to actually come up with something here. Let me see. What do I have? I could do physical, lightning, or frost. Let me see. Do I have, what kind of inflict vulnerabilities do I have? I could, in theory, inflict wet, which lowers frost resistance, but it does counter burning. But the really nice thing about that is it would weaken the enemy against frost resistance. Maybe it would be better to, if you just sundered resistance. Sundering resistance would be good. But what kind of weapon do I want him to have? Do I want him to have a one-handed sword? Could give him lifesteal. That would make him tankier, while also tearing up the weapon, making it do more damage. Decaying is always nice to inflict because it counters regeneration. Slowed is also useful because it lowers enemy retaliations and also makes it easy to get flanks on them. Okay, I think I'll inflict Decaying. I want to sunder enemy resistance and inflict Decaying, but do I want him to be melee or ranged? Melee, or do I want him to have a shield? I think I will have him have the shield, because that'll make him really sticky and hard to deal with, while also like inflicting Decaying and doing all sorts of bad stuff to the enemy. I don't think we need Inflict Blood Parasite. I think he just has that innately now. But Inflict Torment could be really good too. I think it would provide some synergy with the army composition that he has. We may as well give him frost damage as well, just for fun, so that he fall. Or maybe we want like damage channel diversity, although maybe sitting on frost damage is better. Okay, so this will be the Frostbringer of Torment. Perfect. And so I'll start crafting that for him. That'll be his tier 4 one-handed, and we'll get him a shield as well. We captured a few heroes here. Let me have a look who's in my prison. Yeah, so I'm going to devour these guys to help level up my new hero, whose name was Hufflepuff of the Charger. Oh man, Malak the Exact needs to level. You know what? Let me nibble upon some of these heroes for Malak. He has not had a chance to level up. So Malak the Exact, get him up to the Mist Away and the vampire stuff. We could also get his signature skill. I definitely think Adept of Shadow is good. Now, do we have undead animals? I don't think we do. Adept of Chaos. I do like Adept of Shadow for the Unholy leader. It's just an overall good one. Now, he is a skirmisher hero. He's using a tier 2 skirmisher item right now. We might have, actually. What's this? Yeah, we'll give him this tier 4 instead, because it's just better. Do we want to give him an ability? We've got Snapshot. We've got Sniper Shot. We've got Scatter Shot. The nice thing about dealing damage in an AoE is being able to inflict his abilities in an AoE. I don't care about bypassing defense. Ooh, but afflicting Miasma to inflict negative status effects is cool. Morpho. Oh, we've captured a bunch of people. Yeah, people are sending war parties. We'll need to deal with that. Let me have a look at my rally. It would be nice to get a Corrupt Soul, so I'll recruit that to Grime Rise. The Shop of Secrets departed. That's fine. We've got a new arcane research. I forget what we were researching. Ooh, Revenant Whispers. Target enemy gains 2 demoralized and conjure 3 skeletons with Unholy Champion. This feels like a really strong world map spell. It does cost skulls, which is worth keeping in mind. Let's do it. Okay. I'm going to leave the dragon behind. Well, no, I'm going to bring the dragon with him. It's the one unit that has been with him since the start of the game, so I'm going to keep that with me. But I want to keep pushing forward into the enemy cities. So let's bring some fresh immortals with him. Umbral Malady. But I hardly ability. Okay, give me a blood transfer ritual. Blocked by Spelljammer. I hope you like jamming too. Alright, let's get Tormenting Projectiles up. That's going to be really useful to inflict torment. We're going to be chilling in here for a turn or two with some of these units while we burn down the enemy civilization. Nice, we built another really powerful unit stack, this time with 3 Rose Knights, a Scald, and 2 Necromancers. So we're going to send that... Oh wow, what is this? Tyrant Knights galore. Who are you? Nolmach. Well, let me come back here, see if we can't use our superior numbers to take you out. Well, this is fun. We got super powerful units. I bet this is going to be an easy auto combat. Yeah, buddy. Get those free levels up. But I want to actually use these units because these are high tier units. So I want to see how like the synergy works. You know what I mean? I know we outnumber the enemy 2-1, but think of this as like a training battle. So my guys have benefited from the Mantle of the Noble Blood. And if you look here, you're getting plus 20 hit points and 20% more healing. Now, the enemy has Tyrant Knights plus a hero with deals damage 1 hex radius. Okay. The hero's got some ability to do big damage. Ooh, we could bait this guy forward. Dark Ritual. Now, if we had you, let's think about this carefully. You stand here, he has to step, and that'll be potential charge blocking. Yes, okay. Oh, I've got a shitty little zombie I can use to tank this. Perfect. So he either has to lose his charge by losing the terrain and use it on an actual unit, or waste his attack on an expendable piece of crap unit that I don't care about. I would like to group my units up, get strengthened and hastened on my Painbringer, because this was the plan. And then if I use, let's see, Song of Revelry or the Song of Carnage. There's the Song of Carnage, strengthened in fortune. Now, looking on this side of the battlefield, we can be a little bit less pussyfooty with our units, because they can only reach 2 of them. It's perfect. Put the Scald in the center of the formation. Do the Revelry, Song of Carnage. Then hasten the Rose Knights to give them strength, and then we defense mode a bunch of units. Beautiful. Now let's see what our enemies do. I expect them to use a big old spell on us. Did he just cast Tears of the Crimson Sovereign on me? You used my spell on me? You left yourself wide open for a torment here. 3x torments, 1x torment. They did get some fortune out of that, but that's fine. Let's do the Song of Revelry. Get up here. Let's see. This is this never misses, right? It does miss. Obscured by obstacle. So let me see if I can get a better lash. There we go. Tormenting lash. Boom. Get up here and charge strike this nerd. Bam. Which means he has no retaliation against my zombie attack. You get up here and tormenting lash him too. So now he's nearly dealt with. Let me zip our necromancer up. Bam. Oh wait, was there a better tile? There isn't really. But high chance of a kill. Oh, thank you, little blood parasite. Num 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 num. Eat that corpse. Let's make sure we do the Song of Revelry to give these guys rally and regeneration. Now we have a couple of Rose Knights. Charge blocked by terrain. I think I can get 3 charges off on this guy. Bam, 27 damage. Here comes a 30 damage charge. Pa-pow. Give me another 30 damage charge. Pa-pow. We can slip our necromancers forward. Potential finisher. Yes. And we got a little blood parasite out of it. Num 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 num. Eat that corpse. Let's get this necromancer up here. Death blast. Kaplow. Now, I think this army has like crazy synergy. Oh man, look at all that morale triggering. I don't even know what that morale triggering is. Okay, he's doing his... Oof. Oh, yeah, we are a little bit vulnerable to fire. We do still need to deal with that. Don't you dare crit that necromancer to death. How dare you? He tried it. He's trying. He's critting us. Okay, here we go. It's our turn. It's our turn now. Tears of the Crimson Sovereign. Let's launch. We got a blood parasite on one of them. We got an 80% chance to hit this guy. 40% chance of insanity. You to get bleeding, insanity, all that stuff. What if we teleported? Oh, we can't quite teleport to the perfect position. We could step here, teleport behind his flank, and then spank him twice. Pow, pow. You could walk up and absolutely spank this nerd. Bam. Okay, we have a nibbler. What do you do? We have a dark ritual potential here. I don't know if that's what we want to do. I would rather maybe do the charge strike on this hero getting this crazy flank. Get absolutely zonked, nerd. Good God. Okay, where can we go to get a good attack? We can get a good attack from here. It's a 50% chance. He is obscured. Rally, blood parasite, insanity. Okay, so we did get the insanity on him, but he won't be able to use the insanity defense. Okay, who's going to be attacking next? Probably these little skeletons. So if we could give them a little bit of strength, that's going to be 3 solid attacks to the back here, which is lovely. You can't quite finish him. Strength and haste. I need you to soften him a little. Ooh. I need you to tank this retaliation for me. Thank you. Come on, let's get this kill. Ooh. You could do the blood drain thing. Yes. Didn't quite heal you for as much as I'd hoped, but it did heal you. And he won't be able to get a retaliation kill. We can get around the back of him and get some flanking hits. Even if they're not like perfect killing flanks, but they are good flanks. Come on, 15% chance. Oh, bam. What an attack. What a legendary necromancer right there. That was magic. Okay, that was a lot of fun to play around with some of these higher tier units. I can see the power of these Painbringers. One thing I do need to worry about is like my necromancers just don't have a whole lot of health until they level up a bit. We've got 85 health, which isn't terrible. But if we could get them leveled up and get them, I think it's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 50 extra health alongside an extra 20%. So this is like nearly double the effective hit points or survivability or whatever. So that would be big. We've got a bunch of resources for clearing that out. I'm not going to revive skeletons because I don't think I can afford to. We did get a tier 4 item that we could potentially recycle. Yeah, I see the power of the Necromancer now. It's like a super strong support unit for an undead army. I can also see the power of like a single Scald in all of my armies, so I'm definitely going to be recruiting more Scalds. These guys set you up with so much bonus damage and stuff right at the start of the battle when you need it, so that's a big bonus. So in terms of recruitment in Blade Hollow, I'm a little bit behind on Scald recruitment, so I might just recruit a round of Scalds to go send them to reinforce my armies. Blood Transfer Ritual, I can't afford to place it because they're stuck inside enemy territory as much as I want to. But yeah, I'm going to call that the end of the episode. Like, big progress has been made in terms of becoming unstoppable. We're finally getting some of our late game abilities online, and the power level of our army is becoming insane, especially if we can get these two high tier stacks over for reinforcement. We might even stop off to kill off this brigand camp, maybe bring up an extra, like this extra little tier 2 stack as reinforcements to juice up this. But yeah, if we just throw everything at this guy, we'll be in really good shape. And I'm really excited to see what comes next. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.